What's up guys, welcome back everybody to my channel. Today I want to talk about what is interview questions in IT field. If you're a new guy to this world, if you're just starting apply for the works in IT, you would probably think what probably questions they would ask and what are the key components that you probably should have in order to pass the interview. It doesn't matter if you have any experience or not. Well, basically, you should have some experience, right? You should have some experience if you in this point in getting to the interview. I think this um, this overview of this class today is going to help you a lot because I have some students here. I do teach Linux, and 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 my students going through the interview, and we do record, we do take a notes of the questions they ask. And it doesn't matter, in my specific class I do teach Linux, so it basically doesn't matter if it's Windows or Linux. um, as far it is an IT world, you will be probably asked the same questions. Of course, the Windows and the Linux will be a little bit different, but in general questions they will be the same. All right, so let's start. Well, the first question, what you would probably have for the 100% is they gonna ask you, tell me about yourself. When they ask you about tell me about yourself, it doesn't mean you have to tell them what you like to do or what your hobbies is. They want to hear what is your experience, what is your education, and where you currently working or not working, or where you were the last time working. So basically, what you have to tell is that I give you example. You may tell, I have a 4 years experience in IT world, and I had this kind of degree and this kind of, and then I worked for this company as a, let's say, sysadmin, and then you work for that company as a system engineer and etc. So don't tell anything out of this scope. Don't tell them anything about what you like to do, or you like go fishing and etc. They don't want to hear this. They want to hear everything that is related to IT world. All right, second question, and I think this is very important question. If you tell them this, if you answer this question very well, you would probably not be going further. They will not go for the technical questions or behavioral questions, because this question will this answer will provide them the basic understanding how you understand the environment works. Okay, so the next question is, what is your environment? So when they ask this question, it means basically basically how big your environment, where you work, and what do you guys do. Okay, so you have to tell them about your environment. I would say don't really make it short. You may tell about the environment a little bit more, because if you provide them a really great information about the environment, they would probably not go for further questions about some technical stuff. They won't be asking you, because this answer should provide them full picture of what you exactly doing and what your knowledge is. So yeah, tell them where you work, what exactly you do, how big your environment. You can also add how big your environment, in what department you work, and um, how many people work in your shift, and etc. So what kind of monitoring, what kind of other tools do you use, what kind of specific like testing tools, whatever. Just give them more information as you can. If you provide them more information, then this is good for you. So probably if you didn't really make it well, but it doesn't really guarantee, if even if you did well, they would probably go further for the behavioral questions. So here I have the behavioral questions. They would probably sometimes, actually I have to say here that it depends. Sometimes they might, after tell me about yourself, they might go right to the behavioral questions. But usually they start this way. Tell me about yourself, what is your environment, and then after that they start about behavioral questions. So what is behavioral question? They wanna see what was your reaction to some kind of errors will be happening in the company. So this is not a tech. This is not there is no exact answer. There is no exact right answer. So they will analyze how you will be handling the problems. Is this actually be going to be right or not? So every company has different requirements, every company has different policy and different understanding of solving problems. So by giving you this question, they will understand if you are fitting to this company or not, because the way you troubleshoot the things or troubleshoot the stuff, they you providing them the information how good you are in troubleshooting and etc. So behavioral questions is also can be not only troubleshooting, but they can ask you like, what do you know about DNS, let's say? Do you know how it works? Or they can also ask you about what is LVM? Do you know how it works? And of course you have to know how it works, right? And you have to give them a deep explanation of how DNS works and etc. And here's I have another example that says, what are the steps if HTTPD is not working? What steps are you gonna take, right? So if you provide them a right answer, well, as I mentioned before, there is no right answer, but there is some really right things you should do. For example, go to the logs, check what is going on with the system, and only after that make some decisions. So in my opinion, this will be the good uh, the good way of solving the problem. So right. So what they expect is that to do right things, and but not trying to do a lot but not right things, right? So yeah, just give them a right answer, just give them a right way of solving the problems, and you should be good. If you let's say if you don't have any experience in this, probably you can go ahead, Google it, and learn a little bit how what kind of steps are being taken to solve some kind of specific issues, and get yourself prepared a little bit. But of again, you should better have some experience. Alright, so after we finished with the behavioral questions, what they gonna do is they probably won't stick a little bit on technical questions. Like they would probably ask you about some commands, like what kind of flags do you know for ls, or what kind of flags do you know for tcpdump, and etc. Or what kind of commands you're gonna use for let's say to check if the port is open or not. Yeah, this also you should know. You should again prepare yourself. The different companies, they use different tools, so you have to provide them a full variety of the commands that you have. For example, for checking the ports, some of the companies might use the nmap, telnet, or netcat, but some companies might use only telnet. So you have to provide them and telling. We in our company we use telnet, but we also have two more different options like netcat and nmap, let's say. So yeah, you have to, this is the better to mention about this one. Also, they probably will ask you some tricky questions. This is very, very important. They can ask some questions that will make you doubt, or that will make you give them a wrong answer. So if you don't know the answer, better don't answer. So what it means basically, tricky questions, they can ask you like, is this really okay to compare, let's say, Python with MySQL? Is this a good idea? Well, of course it is not, because Python and MySQL, these are absolutely different programs, and they have different purpose, right? This is not a great idea, of course, but I can't remember right now what kind of exactly tricky questions were. But if you guys like this video, just hands up and leave a comment. I will give you a whole list of the tricky questions. And as you guys can see, I have some students. They passed the interview, and these are the questions. These are the questions was asked from the students. What are the key components of AWS? Or what type of DNS records do you know? Please explain each of them, and etc. Tell me what is the difference between thread and process. What is socket? Do you know different excess of, and etc. It's a lot of questions actually. It's a lot of questions, and there are also how operating, what operating system to use, what version, how to start the servers in sentence, and etc. It's a lot of questions, right? Alright, so this is it for today, guys. If you have any more questions, just shoot me a comment. I will go ahead and create a new video. Thank you.